G'day guys, Tor here from Pro Stock Tips. Now, Carnaby Resources has found some more high-grade copper mineralization. Look at these drilling intercepts. You can see visible chalcopyrite, and they have a 50-meter intercept of copper mineralization. Okay, so this hole terminated in mineralization, which is a great sign as they plan on extending this drill hole, which may potentially result in further copper intercepts and further pump up the share price, which is what we want to see. Carnaby has fortunately provided us with visual estimates of the copper grades. Keeping in mind that chalcopyrite is 34.5% copper, assays could potentially be 48 metres at 2.2% copper, including 32 metres at 3.2% copper. However, visual estimates are no substitute for the assays, which could be released in February if they fast-track them through the lab. Knowing the assays will yield wide, high-grade intercepts, I would usually advise to invest before the release of the assays. However, in this instance, I would exercise caution as the share price has already had an enormous run-up and you would be exposed to downside risk. Also notice that DCX is trading at 1/11th of the value of Carnaby Resources. However, this implies a valuation differential between DCX and Carnaby, as DCX owns 17.5% of the project. Therefore, DCX should be trading at double the current share price. However, this might be explained by Carnaby's exposure to other projects, which include Carnaby's 100% interest in the Lady Fanny copper project, which is a high-grade and shallow copper deposit. Now, other than the pending assays, Carnaby also has additional IP surveys due to be released shortly. And also importantly, Carnaby has mentioned there will be a short delay in drilling due to some additional heritage surveys. So after the release of the IP surveys or the assays, there may potentially be some profit taking in this drilling limbo phase. The IP survey data is very important, as it appears to show the copper chute extends for an additional few hundred metres and will ensure that Carnaby's drilling program will actually target the high-grade copper mineralization. It is also showing that the copper chute plunges, so it is getting deeper down to at least 400 metres in depth. So a small portion of the mineralization at surface will be mineable with an open pit, and the bulk of the mineralization will likely have to be exploited by underground mining. I've drawn a basic schematic of what the copper chute might look like underground. The chute may potentially consist of a 40 metre by 40 metre high-grade core, surrounded by a low-grade halo. It appears copper grades are improving at depth, but a key question might be how long does the strike extend for? And how deep does it plunge? And I certainly wouldn't count on it, but could there potentially be a larger ore body at depth from which this chute originates? Also on the cross sections, you can see that the lode is open to the right, so further drilling could extend the cross section of the lode. However, I wouldn't say the IP survey data shows significant extensions to the right. However, the lode could potentially extend on the vertical axis. I've been trying to compare this to other deposits. Here you can see Hammer Metals Kelman deposit, and this is New World Resources Antler deposit. Based on what I've seen so far, it looks like Carnaby could have between 150 and 400 kilotons at 1.5 to 3% copper. But without waiting for the further extensional drilling, it's a bit hard to say really. But given the lofty valuation, it appears the market is pricing in further exploration success. A good sign for the development prospects is that Oz Minerals has taken a stake in the company. I personally think the stock has a lot of downside risk. However, if this is truly a major discovery, then the stock might trade like Samphire Resources, which went from discovery to mine within 3 years. And the share price remained supported the entire time. If Carnaby manages to extend the high-grade lode, then the grades seem supportive of an underground mining operation, and a mine would likely be developed within the next few years. So Carnaby is a great exploration stock for trading, which has been making some really big moves, in excess of 40% on the daily basis. However, if you are a long-term investor, then I'd favour larger resources like Chalcopyrite, which is being developed by Havila, with in excess of 1 million tonnes of copper, outstanding economics at any copper price, ASX code HAV. And amazingly, Havila has a market capitalisation of less than $60 million. Other promising Australian copper developers also include Rex Minerals and also Carnaby Resources.